The desperate call the story opens with Captain Jake Miller aboard the human research vessel Terra Nova as they receive an urgent distress signal from the Galactic Council. The transmission comes through crackling static, showing a terrified alien diplomat named Cora from the peaceful Vellani race. Her blue skin is pale with fear as she explains their situation. The Vellani homeworld of Vela Prime is under siege by the savage Reaper horde, a nomadic species that consumes entire planets. The Reapers have already destroyed 12 worlds in the Outer Rim, leaving nothing but dead rock behind. The Galactic Council's combined fleets have failed 3 times to stop them. Now, with nowhere else to turn, they ask humanity for help. Jake's crew is skeptical. Humans have only been part of the galactic community for 50 years, and most aliens still see them as primitive newcomers from a dangerous world. Earth is classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, and most species consider it uninhabitable. But the Vellani are desperate enough to ask anyone. Dr. Emma Ross, the ship's scientist, studies the data about the Reapers. They are massive insectoid creatures that travel in bioships, consuming everything in their path. Their exoskeletons are nearly indestructible, and their acidic blood can melt through most materials. The Galactic Council's energy weapons barely scratch them. Jake contacts Earth Command. Admiral Tom Burke, a grizzled veteran, listens to the report. The Admiral knows that humanity has been looking for a chance to prove themselves to the galaxy. This could be it. He authorizes Jake to offer Earth's assistance, but warns that the Reapers sound unlike anything they have faced before. Meanwhile, on Vela Prime, the situation grows worse. The Reapers have landed and begun their harvest. The Vellani, being herbivores, who evolved on a peaceful world, have no natural defenses. Their cities burn as the creatures tear through their defensive lines. Cora sends another desperate message, explaining that they have perhaps days before their world falls completely. Jake's ship changes course for Vela Prime, but he knows they will arrive too late with just one research vessel. Earth Command begins mobilizing, but the human fleet is small compared to the massive armadas of other species. What they lack in numbers, they will have to make up for in other ways, as they travel through hyperspace. Jake reflects on humanity's history. Unlike the other species in the galaxy, humans evolved as persistence hunters on a world filled with predators. They survived ice ages, plagues, and countless wars. Every human carries the genetic memory of 10,000 generations of survivors. Crew prepares for what they know will be a difficult fight. Emma works on analyzing Reaper biology, looking for weaknesses. Engineer Mike Chun checks their weapon systems, knowing that standard galactic technology may not be enough. Communications Officer Lisa Park maintains contact with both Earth and the Vellani, coordinating the response. The Galactic Council members are doubtful about humanity's chances. Council leader Theros, a dignified reptilian from the Saurian Empire, privately believes that the humans will simply become more victims for the Reapers. The Council has already written off Vela Prime, preparing to evacuate nearby systems. As Part 1 ends, Jake's ship drops out of hyperspace at the edge of the Vela system. What they see horrifies them. The Reapers' bioships, massive organic vessels that pulse with alien life, orbit the planet like a swarm of locusts. The planet's surface glows with fires, and debris from destroyed Vellani ships drifts in space. Jake opens a channel to Cora, who is broadcasting from an underground bunker. She is surprised to see that only one human ship has arrived, but Jake assures her that more help is coming. He asks for detailed scans of the Reapers and their ships, beginning to formulate a plan. The Reapers detect the human ship, and several biovessels break off to investigate. Jake orders red alert as the alien ships approach. Unlike the sleek, technological vessels of other species, the Reaper ships are organic nightmares, covered in chitin and pulsing with bioluminescent patterns. Emma's scans reveal that the Reaper's bioships are actually living creatures, bred for war and consumption. Their hulls are incredibly tough, but they have the biological needs of living things. Jake begins to see possibilities that the other species missed. The first Reaper ship opens fire with bioplasma weapons, testing the human vessel's defenses. Jake's crew responds with their own weapons, but the damage is minimal. However, something in the human response seems to surprise the Reapers. They have never encountered technology quite like humanity's before. Part 1 closes with Jake preparing for a fighting retreat, buying time for the main human fleet to arrive while studying these alien monsters up close. Asterisk, the Terra Nova dodges plasma. Blasts as Jake leads the Reaper ships away from Vela Prime. His crew works frantically to analyze the alien bioships. Emma discovers something the Galactic Council missed. The Reaper's living ships need to breathe. They have respiratory systems that filter gases from space, processing hydrogen and other elements to stay alive. This gives Jake an idea. On Earth, humans learn to fight organisms by attacking their weaknesses. If these ships are alive, they can be killed like any other creature. He contacts Earth Command with his findings, just as Admiral. Burke's fleet arrives at the system's edge. The human fleet is small compared to the Reaper. Swarm, only 20 ships against hundreds of biovessels. But Burke has brought something special. The flagship Terran Wolf carries experimental weapons based on Earth's biological warfare research. Instead of energy weapons, they use modified viruses and toxins that can attack living tissue. Council leader Theros watches the human arrival. With disappointment, 20 ships seem pathetic against the Reaper horde. He prepares to mark humanity as another failed species, not understanding that humans think differently than the rest of the galaxy. On Vela Prime, the Reapers continue their harvest. The creatures themselves are massive, 12 feet tall with razor-sharp claws and acid that can melt through metal. They tear through Velani defense forces with ease. The peaceful herbivores have no natural weapons or fighting instincts. Their cities fall one by one. Korra broadcasts from deeper underground bunkers, showing the horrible scenes on her world's surface. The Reapers don't just kill, they consume everything. Plants, animals, even the soil itself gets digested by their bioships. They are turning her beautiful world into a dead husk. Admiral Burke studies the tactical situation. The Galactic Council's approach was to fight the Reapers ship to ship, matching firepower with firepower. But humans learned long ago that the best way to defeat a stronger enemy is to be smarter, not stronger. Burke orders his fleet to implement Protocol Omega, a strategy that no other species would even consider. The human ships begin releasing clouds of modified organisms into space. These are engineered bacteria and viruses designed to attack. The specific biological markers Emma identified in the Reaper bioships. The clouds look harmless, just expanding spheres of gas and particles that drift toward the alien swarm. The Reapers ignore the human attack, thinking it's some kind of primitive chemical weapon. Their bioships' natural filters should handle any toxins easily. They continue their assault on the planet while sending only a few ships to deal with the small human fleet. Jake's crew monitors the biological agents as they make contact with the Reaper ships. At first, nothing happens. Then Emma detects changes in the bioship's respiratory systems. The engineered organisms are beginning to work, but slowly. This is biological warfare. It takes time to show results. Meanwhile, Burke implements the second phase of the human strategy. While the aliens focus on the biological attack, human boarding parties prepare for something no other species has: attempted direct assault on the Reaper creatures themselves. The Galactic Council watches in horror as human soldiers prepare to board the bioships. No species has ever tried this because the Reapers are considered too dangerous for close combat. But humans evolved fighting predators in close quarters. They know how to kill things that are bigger and stronger than themselves. The first human boarding craft, small and fast, penetrates a Reaper bioship's hull. The soldiers inside wear specialized armor designed to resist acid and carry weapons that fire explosive rounds rather than energy beams. They know that organic targets respond better to kinetic force than energy weapons inside the bioship. The humans encounter the Reapers in their own environment. The creatures are massive and terrifying, but the human soldiers don't freeze with fear like other species do. They have trained for this their entire lives. Every human child grows up learning about monsters and how to defeat them. The battle inside the bioship is brutal and close. The Reaper's acid blood sprays everywhere, but human armor holds. Their claws can tear through most materials, but human reflexes and tactics keep the soldiers alive. Most importantly, the humans target the ship's biological systems, its hearts. Lungs and nervous clusters as the first bioship begins to convulse and die. Other Reaper vessels notice the biological agents starting to affect their own systems. The engineered organisms are spreading through their respiratory networks, causing system failures throughout the swarm. The Reaper swarm begins to panic as more bioships fall to the human assault. The creatures have conquered dozens of worlds, but they have never faced an enemy that uses biological warfare combined with boarding tactics. Their simple hive mind cannot understand how these small, soft creatures from a primitive world are killing their massive bioships. On Vela Prime, the Reapers on the ground receive distress signals from their fleet. Some of the massive creatures begin retreating to their landing sites, preparing to return to space. This gives the surviving Vellani a brief respite, but Korra knows it won't last long. The Reapers will either win in space and return to finish the harvest, or they will destroy the planet out of spite. Admiral Burke watches as his biological weapons spread through the enemy fleet. The engineered organisms are reproducing rapidly in the bioship's respiratory systems, causing cascading failures. But he knows this is only the beginning. The Reapers are adapting, and some ships are beginning to filter out the biological agents. Jake leads a squadron of human fighters in a coordinated attack on the largest Reaper bioship, a massive creature that serves as the swarm's command vessel. Unlike other species who would try to destroy it with heavy weapons, the humans use a different approach. They attack like a pack of wolves, targeting specific weak points while avoiding the creature's main defenses. The human fighters are smaller and faster than the ships used by other species. They dart in and out of the bioship's defensive fire, each one carrying specialized payloads. Some release more biological agents. Others deploy electromagnetic pulses that disrupt the creature's nervous system, and still others launch kinetic penetrators that punch through the hull to deliver human boarding teams. Inside the command bioship, the human soldiers find themselves in a nightmare environment. The corridors are organic tunnels that pulse with alien life. Acidic fluids drip from the walls, and the air itself seems to breathe. But the humans press forward, using their superior technology and tactics to overcome the hostile environment. The Reapers inside the ship are not just warriors. They are part of the ship's biological system. Some are small, scuttling creatures that maintain the ship's functions. Others are massive brutes that serve as living weapons. The humans systematically hunt down each type, learning their weaknesses and adapting their tactics in real-time. Dr. Emma Ross, monitoring from the Terra Nova, makes a crucial discovery. The Reapers operate on a hive mind system, but their communication is biological rather than technological. By disrupting the chemical signals that coordinate their actions, the humans can cause confusion and panic throughout the swarm. The human soldiers inside the command ship fight their way to the central nervous cluster, a massive organic brain that controls the entire Reaper fleet. The creature is heavily defended, But the humans have learned to work together in ways that the individualistic Reapers cannot understand. They coordinate their attacks, cover each other's weaknesses, and adapt their strategies as the battle progresses. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council watches in amazement as the human fleet continues to destroy Reaper bioships. Council leader Theros cannot believe what he is seeing. The humans are not just fighting the Reapers. They are hunting them with the patience and skill of apex predators. On the planet's surface, the retreating Reapers find that the humans have sent down their own ground forces. These are not the peaceful explorers that first made contact with the galaxy, but soldiers trained in Earth's harshest environments. They know how to fight in any terrain, against any enemy, using whatever weapons they can find. The human ground forces use guerrilla tactics, striking at the Reapers' supply lines and communication networks. They turn the planet's own environment against the invaders, using natural obstacles and hazards to their advantage. The Reapers, used to overwhelming their enemies with brute force, find themselves outmaneuvered by an enemy that fights like the terrain itself. The battle for the command ship reaches its climax as the human soldiers finally reach the central nervous cluster. The massive brain creature tries to defend itself with bioelectric attacks and toxic gases. But the humans have come prepared. They use specialized equipment to disrupt its neural pathways while protecting themselves from its defenses. As the command ship's nervous system begins to fail, the entire Reaper fleet starts to lose coordination. Bioships collide with each other, ground forces receive conflicting orders, and the whole invasion begins to collapse. The humans have done what no other species could. They have turned the Reaper's greatest strength, their biological unity, into their greatest weakness. With their command ship destroyed, the Reaper swarm breaks apart into smaller groups. Some bioships flee toward the outer system, while others turn to attack the human fleet in desperate fury. The creatures have never experienced defeat before, and their simple minds cannot process what is happening to them. Admiral Burke recognizes this as a critical moment. The Reapers are most dangerous when cornered and desperate. He orders his fleet to implement Protocol Hunter, a strategy that treats the fleeing bioships not as escaping enemies, but as prey to be tracked and eliminated systematically. Human ships spread out across the system, using their superior sensors to track the scattered Reapers. Unlike the energy-based detection systems used by other species, human technology includes biological sensors that can detect the unique life signatures of the bioships. Every Reaper vessel leaves a trail that the humans can follow. On Vela Prime, the remaining Reapers on the ground have become erratic without coordination from their fleet. Some continue attacking Vellani cities, while others retreat to defensive positions. The human ground forces take advantage of this confusion, picking off isolated groups of creatures with precision strikes. Captain Jake leads a hunting party after the largest group of fleeing bioships. These are the survivors from the command vessel's escort fleet, still dangerous but now leaderless. His crew has learned to read the Reaper's movement patterns, predicting where they will go based on their biological needs and instincts. The chase leads to the asteroid belt between Vela Prime and its outer moon. The Reapers think they can hide among the rocks, but they don't understand that humans are persistence hunters. On Earth, early humans would track prey for days across vast distances, never giving up until the hunt was complete. Dr. Emma Ross has been studying the captured biological samples from the destroyed command ship. She discovers that the Reapers have a fatal weakness. Their bioships cannot survive without regular feeding. The creatures must consume organic matter every few days, or their ships begin to break down at the cellular level. This knowledge changes everything. The humans don't need to destroy every bioship in direct combat. They just need to prevent the Reapers from feeding until their own biology kills them. Burke orders his fleet to establish a blockade around the system, cutting off the Reapers. Escape routes while denying them access to any organic matter. The Galactic Council watches in amazement as the human strategy unfolds. Other species would have tried to destroy the fleeing enemies with overwhelming firepower. But humans understand that sometimes the best weapon is patience. They are turning the entire star system into a hunting ground where the Reapers cannot hide or feed. Some bioships attempt to break through the human blockade, but the smaller, faster human vessels intercept them every time. The humans have learned to work in coordinated groups, like wolf packs surrounding their prey. Each ship has a specific role in the hunt, and they communicate constantly to adapt their tactics. On the planet's surface, the human ground forces begin the final phase of their assault. They have identified the Reapers' breeding chambers, massive organic structures, where the creatures reproduce and create new bioships. These installations must be destroyed to prevent the Reapers from rebuilding their forces. The assault on the breeding chambers is brutal. The structures are defended by the largest and most dangerous Reapers, creatures that serve as living fortresses. But the humans have learned to exploit every weakness in Reaper biology. They use acid-resistant equipment, kinetic weapons that can penetrate chitin armor, and coordinated tactics that prevent the creatures from using their superior size and strength. Meanwhile, in the asteroid belt, the trapped Reapers begin to show signs of starvation. Their bioships start to deteriorate as they consume their own organic matter to survive. The creatures become increasingly desperate, launching suicidal attacks against the human blockade. Jake's squadron encounters a group of starving Reapers who have turned to cannibalism, attacking and consuming their own kind. The sight would horrify most species, but humans understand that this is simply another sign that their strategy is working. The Reapers are destroying themselves. The human soldiers inside the breeding chambers reach the central spawning pools, massive organic wombs where new Reapers are created. The destruction of these facilities requires careful precision. The humans must ensure that no genetic material survives to rebuild the swarm elsewhere. As the breeding chambers burn, the last organized Reaper resistance on Vela Prime collapses. The surviving creatures flee into the wilderness, but the human ground forces continue to hunt them down. There can be no survivors, no possibility of the Reapers returning to threaten other worlds. 3 days after the destruction of the command ship, the last Reaper bioships in the outer system begin to die. Their hulls crack and bleed as starvation destroys them from within. The creatures that once consumed entire worlds are now consuming themselves, their own biology betraying them in the cold vacuum of space. Admiral Burke watches the final phase of the hunt unfold. The human blockade has been perfect. Not a single Reaper has escaped to threaten other worlds. But the Admiral knows that total victory requires more than just killing the invaders. The galaxy must understand that humanity can protect them from threats like this. On Vela Prime, Cora emerges from her underground bunker for the first time in weeks. The planet's surface is scarred and burned, but it is alive. The Reapers' bioships lie scattered across the landscape like the corpses of massive insects. Human soldiers move among them, ensuring that every trace of the invaders is eliminated. The Valani people gather around the human ground forces, their blue skin pale with shock and gratitude. They have never seen such efficient, ruthless warfare. The humans fought like demons, but they fought to protect innocent life. Cora tries to find words to thank them, but human languages have no equivalent for the depth of Velani gratitude. Jake leads the final sweep of the asteroid belt, hunting down the last surviving bioships. His crew has become expert at reading the death signs of the alien vessels. They can tell which ones are still alive and which have already succumbed to starvation. The hunt is nearly complete. The Galactic Council convenes an emergency session to discuss what they have witnessed. Council leader Theros, who had dismissed humanity as primitive, now faces the reality that these Deathworlders have accomplished what the combined fleets of a dozen species could not. The Reapers, unstoppable for centuries, have been completely destroyed in less than a week. Dr. Emma Ross compiles her research on Reaper biology into a comprehensive report. Her findings will revolutionize how the galaxy understands biological warfare and alien anatomy. But more importantly, her work proves that humans think differently than other species. They see weaknesses where others see only strength. The last Reaper bioship is found drifting near the system's edge, its hull split open like a rotting fruit. Jake's team boards the dying vessel to ensure no survivors remain. Inside, they find the ship's biological systems have completely collapsed. The creature that once threatened entire worlds is now nothing more than decaying organic matter. As the final Reaper dies, the human fleet receives communications from across the galaxy. Species that had never spoken to humanity before are requesting defensive alliances. The Galactic Council formally invites Earth to join their military command structure, recognizing that humans possess strategic capabilities that no other species can match. But the humans are not finished. Admiral Burke knows that the Reapers came from somewhere beyond the galaxy's rim, and there might be others. He orders long-range scouts to begin mapping the regions where the Reapers originated, preparing for the possibility of future invasions. Cleanup of Vela Prime begins immediately. Human engineers work alongside Velani scientists to restore the planet's ecosystems. The Deathworlders who brought such destruction to their enemies now work tirelessly to heal the damage caused by war. They understand that true strength includes the ability to build as well as destroy. On Earth, the victory is celebrated with quiet satisfaction rather than loud triumph. Humanity has proven itself to the galaxy, but they know that this is just the beginning. The universe is vast and full of threats that peaceful species cannot handle alone. Earth will be ready for whatever comes next. The human ground forces begin their withdrawal from Vela Prime, leaving behind monitoring stations and defensive installations. The Velani will never again face extinction alone. Humanity has claimed them as part of their pack, and humans protect their own. Jake's crew returns to the Terra Nova for the journey home, but they carry with them samples and data that will advance human understanding of xenobiology by decades. The encounter with the Reapers has taught them that the galaxy is full of life forms that operate by completely different biological rules. The Galactic Council passes a resolution declaring the Reaper threat permanently eliminated, thanks to the intervention of humanity. But privately, many council members worry about what other threats might exist in the dark spaces between stars. They are grateful that Earth has joined their alliance, but they also fear the implications of humanity's overwhelming military efficiency. *6. Months after the Battle of Vela Prime, the galaxy has changed forever. The Galactic Council has restructured its entire military doctrine based on human tactics and strategies. Species that once dismissed biological warfare as primitive now study human methods with intense interest. The universe has learned that sometimes the most effective weapon is not the most advanced, but the most adaptable. Admiral Burke stands on the bridge of the new flagship Terra Invictus, watching as the first joint human-alien fleet conducts training exercises near Jupiter. The massive vessel represents a new era of cooperation between humanity and the galactic community. Its weapon systems combine human biological warfare capabilities with alien energy technology, creating something more powerful than either species could achieve alone. The Velani have become humanity's closest allies, their gratitude transforming into genuine friendship. Cora now serves as the first alien ambassador to Earth, working to establish cultural exchanges between the two species. Her reports describe a world that both fascinates and terrifies other species, a planet where every living thing has evolved. To survive in conditions that would kill most galactic life forms, Captain Jake has been promoted to lead the new Threat Assessment Division, a joint human-alien organization dedicated to identifying and neutralizing dangers before they can spread across the galaxy. His team includes specialists from a dozen species, but they all follow tactical principles learned from humanity's victory over the REAP ERAS. Dr. Emma Ross has established the first xenobiology research station on Earth, where alien scientists study the principles of Deathworld evolution. Her work has revolutionized understanding of how life adapts to extreme conditions, leading to breakthroughs in medicine, agriculture, and terraforming technology. The research station has become a pilgrimage site for scientists across the galaxy. They come to study not just Earth's biology, but its approach to solving problems through adaptation rather than technology. The humans have shown them that sometimes the best solution comes from understanding life itself rather than trying to control it. Reports continue to arrive from the Outer Rim, where human scout fleets explore the regions beyond mapped space. They have found evidence of other threats, ancient automated weapons, hostile energy beings, and biological horrors that make the Reapers look simple by comparison. But now the galaxy has guardians capable of handling such dangers. The Galactic Council chambers have been expanded to accommodate Earth's new role as a major military power. Council leader Theros, once skeptical of humanity, now defers to human tactical expertise in all matters of galactic defense. The species that once saw humans as primitive newcomers now recognize them as the galaxy's apex predators. Earth itself has become a training ground for elite soldiers from across the galaxy. The planet's harsh conditions and dangerous wildlife provide the perfect environment for teaching aliens how to think like humans, how to adapt, survive, and overcome seemingly impossible odds. Those who complete the training return to their worlds as the finest warriors their species have ever produced. The human fleet has grown exponentially, with new ships designed specifically for hunting threats like the Reapers. These vessels combine the best of human and alien technology, creating a force capable of protecting the entire galaxy from external threats. Each ship carries a mixed crew of humans and aliens, fostering cooperation between species. On Vela Prime, the planet has been fully restored and now serves as a memorial to the victims of the Reaper invasion. But it is also a symbol of hope, proof that no threat is too great when different species work together. The Velani have learned to defend themselves, trained by human military advisors in tactics that suit their peaceful nature. The memorial gardens on Vela Prime contain earth plants alongside native Velani flora, symbolizing the new friendship between the species. Children from both worlds play together in these gardens, growing up in a galaxy where cooperation and mutual protection are the foundation of civilization. As the story concludes, Jake receives a priority transmission from the edge of the galaxy. Long-range sensors have detected something massive moving through the void between galaxies, something that makes the Reaper swarm look small by comparison. The message is clear. New threats are coming, and the galaxy will need its guardians. Ready? But now the galaxy has humanity, a species that evolved on a world where survival meant constant adaptation, where every challenge was met with ingenuity and determination. The peaceful species of the galactic community can sleep safely knowing that if monsters come from the dark, Earth's children will be waiting to hunt them down. The final scene shows the combined fleet of humans and aliens moving out toward the Galactic Rim, ready to face whatever threats await in the vast darkness of space. The galaxy has learned that sometimes the greatest protection comes not from the strongest weapons or the most advanced technology, but from the simple refusal to give up, no matter how impossible the odds. Humanity has claimed its place as the galaxy's guardians, and the universe will never be the same.